Hello everyone, a different video today. Today's video is about... Is it Peppa Pig? That wasn't Peppa Pig, were it? Today's video is a different one. It's about... I went to TalkSport today and I met Jeremy Kyle. I met a few famous people today actually. So we'll start at the beginning. So Joe came and picked me up and we went to the train station. I went to Costa, I got a caramel latte again, and I don't even like them. I don't like coffee. I never have. And I find myself drinking more and more of it every day, and I don't know why. I got a caramel latte. I've got like these, they're like Jammy Dodgers, but they weren't Jammy Dodgers because the outer shell, you know, like the outer shell, not the jam. It was like it was weird. Didn't enjoy them. I only ate one of them. Anyway, we got the train. It was okay. It was not a bad train. Not first class, which was sad. So we got down there. Anyway, got off the train. We're walking through King's Cross, and Joe nudged me. That's Vicar Richards. So I looked up and I thought, is it? I thought, is it? It was a long way away, and I thought, I'm not sure. So we got a bit closer. And I went, yeah, it is him. And Joe wants to get a picture. So I went over. Can you get a picture? And you know what? No one recognised him. He walked through a big crowd of people and no one recognised him. And I would say, obviously he was a very good footballer, of course, but like, he's probably more famous now as a pundit with Roy Keane and working on Sky and the other channel. Probably more famous now than when he was playing, but no one actually took any notice of him. No one actually recognised him. Or maybe no one's as annoying as Joe and they just let him go and get on his day. Anyway, we had a picture. It was nice. I had a good picture with him. It was really pleasant, actually. It was nice. Anyway, that's our first famous person interaction of the day. Then we got a car over to TalkSport Studios. I got stopped, actually, outside TalkSport. I signed a picture of myself and I signed a programme for this fella. I met him before. When I was at TalkSport last time, I signed some stuff. I don't know how he knew I was going to be there. I do not know. I didn't know what time I was going to get there, to be honest. So he did well to know better than me. And then, as I got into TalkSport, went upstairs, had 10 minutes and we cracked on doing it's like a podcast, I think it's a boxing podcast. Simon, Jordan, Spencer Oliver and guest, and this week were me. I think it might be 8 o'clock today. I think they said it might be out on TalkSport YouTube. We discussed topics, Usyk Dubois, Wardley, Hooney, myself, Fisher and moving forward, and a few other things. A lot of people have asked me in the past, what's Simon Jordan like? You know what, I'll be honest, before I met him, I was one of them like, fuck, you know, why is he getting involved? He's not a boxing guy and he's opinionated, this and that. And you know what, I don't dislike anybody. I could never dislike anybody that I never met, especially. But I'm one of them that were like, bloody hell. And to be honest, I don't really watch things. I don't watch a lot of boxing content. I watch boxing, I watch boxing. If I want to watch people bickering and arguing, and I'll watch Coronation Street or EastEnders, but I like watching boxing. I watch boxing, really. I don't really watch many podcasts. The only time I watch stuff really is like when I'm boxing, to hear what people's opinions are and what they're thinking and what, because you never know, you can learn, you're always learning and picking things up and wondering what people are saying. But anyway, what I will say about Simon Jordan is, I like him actually, yeah. I wasn't sure I would say that, but I really like him. He's very friendly, very nice. And I knew he was intelligent, a very intelligent fellow, obviously, very, very clever. In terms of boxing, I think he probably knows himself. He's not an expert on the sport, but he's a very good businessman. So he's funny as well, actually. He's very, very funny. Funny, like sometimes it's funny, I'm like, well, that's funny. But obviously different to me, do you know what I mean? Very different, but we get on quite well actually. I think he's a good bloke. I like most people, but I do like him actually. I think he's sound. Yeah, I do like him. And then we was leaving, and they said, listen, Joe Hayden came with me. You get a fee for going on. It's not as much as you think. It's a few £100. But I swapped my fee. I'm half rich at the moment. I'm rich for me. So instead of getting paid, I said, listen, can I bring Joe Hayden? So they paid for Joe's travel and everything so he came with me. And they said, look, as a thank you for coming down and whatever else, and Joe coming, they got me and Joe live on the radio together on Hawksby, and it's usually Hawksby and Jacobs, Hawksby and somebody else, a comedian. So Joe were live on the radio. Joe were buzzing, to be honest. So we were on the radio for 10 minutes, yeah. It was good. Joe enjoyed it. It was good. That's what it's all about. I've done all this radio and TV stuff, and I won't say like you're not bored of it or whatever else, but I've done it all now. I've done loads of radio, loads of TV stuff, and I remember when I went down for the first time though and did it, and it was fucking amazing. You feel famous. You feel great. It's mad. It's just a mad. You watched it as a kid on the TV, you watched all this stuff, and then you're on it. So I'm buzzing for Joe. But good, yeah. I enjoyed him enjoying it. That's what I like, stuff like that. Anyway, so I said last time I went to TalkSport, Jeremy Kyle's in the same building. Jeremy Kyle, my childhood, anyone around my age, he were our childhood, weren't he? We were on the TV all the time. Jeremy Kyle's show, it was what it was, but it was, everyone watched it. Just watched it with me nan, and it was in. So we hung around a bit, maybe an hour. I might have waited an hour actually for him, and yeah, I waited for him. Anyway, we got introduced to him, and I was a bit nervous, because again, much like Simon Jordan, you have a perception of him and you think, me being me, you know, Donny kid, bit fucking, I am what I am. You're not sure whether what they're gonna think of you. But I'll be honest, Jeremy Kyle, I had 10 minutes with him. He asked all kinds of questions. Couldn't have been nicer, very polite. Like I said, asked questions, had a genuine interest in what I was saying, and asking Joe questions, speaking to Joe. Yeah, mad, innit? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, people always say, like, who do you look up to or whatever? And like, Jeremy Kyle, like, he weren't a sportsman. You don't look at him, he had a great ability in boxing, football, whatever to look up to. But he's just Jeremy Kyle, isn't he? Like, I don't know, he's just Jeremy Kyle. I just used to like his TV programme. But it was mad. It was great to meet him. I thought he was really, really nice, actually. So people always say, Simon Jordan, what's he like? Him and Jeremy Kyle, like, you couldn't meet two nicer fellas. And I'll be completely honest, before I met him, I was very unsure what they'd be like from the out. Because sometimes you watch people on TV and you think, oh, I'm not sure about him. And them two, yeah, couldn't meet two nicer people. They couldn't be any nicer to me, so grateful for that. And had an amazing day on the back of it. And to finish off, on the train home, yeah, so went down to the, what's it called? There's like a bar on the thing. I got a Kit Kat. And a drink, a hot chocolate actually. On the way back, Joel, I need toilets the last time. I'll meet back at the seat. Anyway, as he's gone to the toilet, I pretended to go back to my seat, but I haven't. I've got my leg, and I'm shutting the toilet door. Anyway, Joe's trying to get out of the toilet, but for like 3 minutes, I stood there jamming the door shut, and he was panicking, really panicking, to the point where like trying to slam the door open. And then after about 3 minutes, my arms and legs were in, and I moved, and I opened the door, and he was really, I think it might have been a bit claustrophobic actually, so I thought, felt a bit bad, but at the time, I was laughing my head off actually, and people on the train were looking at me weirdly. But anyway, that topped off a great day, so back training tomorrow, back over with Jamie and Nige for the rest of the week, and yeah, that was today. Thank you.